From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Gabby Demergen.
And I'm Megan Carabelli. Here's the news. There's now a new way to steal a Loyola student's identity. Loyola Book is a website connecting Loyola students together using their major, year they entered school, and their hometown. A recent investigation by the Phoenix found that if you open a student's picture in another tab on the browser, the URL will have his or her 11-digit student ID number. With that number, it would be possible for any other Loyola student to access another student's private records. As for what you can get into with a student ID, records of appointments at the Wellness Center are kept locked until a student enters their ID number or swipes their card. An ID along with a username or password can give someone access to change or cancel a student's financial aid. Even some dining hall staff members have been known to let a student buy food or groceries using their number. It would even be possible to change a student's major or minor. As of this afternoon, the URL loyolabook.luc.edu redirects users to the Loyola homepage. Phoenix reporter Edward Ballantyne says there's a chance that Loyola could be violating federal law because of what the ID number gives you access to.
I was vaguely familiar with something called the Family Education Rights Protection Act, called FERPA. It's a federal privacy law. And I was curious if student ID numbers were something that were protected by that law, which stipulates that with certain information, students have to give schools permission before the schools disclose it to anybody.
Ballantyne has spoken with several students' rights advocacy groups that say if the ID numbers are linked to student records and students did not have the chance to opt out, Loyola could be violating FERPA law. While students are given the option to remove their photo from Loyola Book, many are unaware that their ID number is being published if they don't. The Loyola administration issued a response to this Phoenix story this afternoon. In an email statement to the Loyola News Chicago communication director, Maeve Kiley, said, "A Loyola ID is internal to the university. It has no other purpose outside of the university. The LID is not classified as sensitive information today. It is not the sole identifier and therefore cannot be used to access personal records or information."
In addition to the response from Loyola administration, we asked students for their reaction to the Loyola Book story. Some students we talked to were even more upset about the potential breach than others.
It makes me feel as if my information isn't protected. I don't feel like everything that should be confidential, I don't feel as if it is.
I hope that no one has actually taken advantage of it yet, but obviously Loyola should fix it immediately. I'm just glad that somebody pointed it out before, someone took advantage of it.
It makes me very uncomfortable that somebody has access to my information in a place that's supposed to be safe.
We will stay with this story and bring you updates on any changes regarding Loyola Book and access to student ID numbers. Student bikers may be concerned after a Phoenix report highlights a rise in bike thefts on campus this year. According to the report, bike thefts during the 2013 to 2014 school year nearly doubled from the year before. There were 9 bike thefts this fall semester and 5 since the spring semester. Campus safety suggests students purchase a kryptonite U-lock to prevent theft and store bikes in the parking garage when possible.
Most of us are sick and tired of the snow and ice in Chicago, but there's been at least one good thing. There's no doubt this winter season has been brutal. Freezing temperatures and excessive amounts of snow have made it one of the worst winters in Chicago's history. But this extreme weather has had one positive effect: lower crime rates.
In typical Chicago winters, crime slows down significantly, but this year in particular, it's slowed down a lot. Homicides are down 50% compared to this time last year. Due to the weather and the inclement weather and the amounts of snow and people staying indoors.
Officer Flores also said while violent crimes are down, domestic crimes are up. He speculates that because people are together indoors more and out of the cold.
The Loyola community can enjoy the many green perks of the new Institute of Environmental Sustainability. We found that the state-of-the-art addition helps reduce the university's ecological footprint.
This modern building is not only eye-catching, but efficient as well.
The windows are designed to capture natural sunlight, which decreases energy costs for Loyola's Institute of Environmental Sustainability. And inside, the 3,000 square foot Ecodome is a greenhouse that hosts urban agriculture research projects. After opening last fall, the Institute adopted the Environmental Science Department with more options for classes and research opportunities. The merge also revamped the department's curriculum with additional majors in environmental policy, conservation and restoration, and food systems and sustainable agriculture. Academic Director Chris Peterson says the improvements will enhance students' educational experience.
Now they also have facilities, they have additional staff members associated with the greenhouse, associated with our composting program, associated with the Loyola University Retreat Ecology campus, that now they all have much greater access to than they did before.
The Institute also promotes healthy eating with its Green Cafe and Grained. Many students prefer locally grown and organic food options instead of Loyola's more traditional dining halls.
Having Ingrained as an option on days where it doesn't sound appetizing and I want a salad that actually tastes good, I feel like this is a step in the right direction to get students here, making that part of their daily lives.
The building also houses the biodiesel program that recycles the university's waste to create clean energy. Biodiesel lab manager Zach Wakeman believes the facility advocates hands-on learning.
The biodiesel program came out of that, a desire to have experiential learning and an application to the environmental sustainability that we're teaching.
And to conserve energy, the Institute runs its own underground heating system.
The biodiesel processor behind me is completely built into the building operations. All of the heat that we need for this processor isn't provided by electrical heating or by natural gas. It's provided by the geothermal system that's in the building.
These are just some of the ways the Institute of Environmental Sustainability is striving toward a greener campus. Gabby Demergen, Loyola News, Chicago. Environmental science separated from Loyola's College of Arts and Science when the Institute was built, but Chris Peterson, the academic program director, hopes the Institute will become its own school once the department reaches 300 sustainability majors. It currently has 155. The Institute is also attached to San Francisco Hall, an eco-friendly dorm. It includes systems to recycle water and track how much electricity use the residents use. You know, I'm really excited to try Ingrained Cafe. Have you been there yet?
Oh, definitely. I had a really nice chicken sandwich there a couple weeks ago.
Sounds good.
And coming up on Loyola News, can spring come quickly enough or is it too early?
And the Ramblers try to play the role of giant killers. We'll show you what happened in a raucous Gentile arena next.
No shocker.
That was great.
Is that right?
That was perfect, yeah.
How you feel? How you feel?
I'm feeling good. Spin me, spin me.
Got you.
Oh, goodness.
And Joe Flaherty is here with sports.
Yeah, that's right, Megan. Thanks. And yesterday, Loyola was a hotbed for men's basketball.
Oh.
Except it was mostly for the visitors. Yeah. Ouch. Campus was abuzz with the news that the undefeated Wichita State Shockers were coming to town. Wednesday's matchup against the third-ranked team in the nation marks the first time a ranked opponent has visited Rogers Park since 2010. 4-minute mile runners Tim O'Hara and Sam Pedson-Stadler weren't the only Ramblers with a little history on their mind. The capacity crowd of nearly 4,600 packed Gentile Arena on Wednesday to watch David try and take down Goliath. Chicago native Fred Van Fleet had quite the homecoming. This three here was part of his 22 points, go along with 8 boards and 6 assists. Shockers controlled the glass all night, out-rebounding the Ramblers by 17. Loyola was down just 7 after halftime, but State pulled away late and capped things with this dunk late by Darius Carter. Loyola falls 88-74, and after the game, head coach Porter Moser said one play told the whole story.
And it was a rebound when we were still, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes left. We're trying to battle. Tequil Cotton just ripped it out of our hands. And just ripped it out of our hands. And that was, that kind of symbolizes how they play. I mean, they just found a way to win.
And another shock from last night was Boston College's upset over number 1 Syracuse. That leaves Wichita State as the last unbeaten left standing in the nation, and they're likely the new number 1 in the coaches' poll. We'll see when that comes out. Just as the men's team hopes to avoid meeting with the Shockers again during Arch Madness, the women's team is preparing for their very first Missouri Valley tournament of their own. Found out why this season has been a roller coaster ride for rookie coach Cheryl Swoops.
Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Head coach Cheryl Swoops is prepping her team for the final stretch of their first season in the Missouri Valley. After a legendary playing career, her first year as coach has been a tough one. Since starting conference play 4-2, the Ramblers have lost 5 of their last 6 and sit in the bottom half of the standings.
We surprised a lot of people in the beginning. People have kind of figured us out, so now what? And for me as a coach, it's my job to say to the players, we can't get comfortable. We can't get complacent with just being in 6th place. I want to be better.
3 starters have been lost to injury, including leading scorer and rebounder Simone Law. But her injury opened the door for senior forward Troy Hambrick, who now leads the team in points, rebounds, blocks, and steals.
I just really wanted to go all out my last year here. You know, I've always been considered a role player. My name, you know, didn't come up on the scoreboards or anything like that. But, you know, I've been given this opportunity to just kind of lead the team, and I think a lot of my teammates rely on me.
Hambrick is now in discussion for Missouri Valley Player of the Year and became the first Rambler invited to the Pro Hoops Draft Combine. Swoop says it was only a matter of time before we saw Hambrick blossom into a star.
I just think that's the type of player she's always been, whether that's taking, you know, me coming in and pulling that out of her, or whether that's just her self-believing in that. It's just happening.
Swoops is confident the team can finish strong and clinch a top 6 seed. That would give the Ramblers a first-round bye heading into their first Missouri Valley tournament.
And the team has 6 games remaining between now and March 8th. That includes 4 home games at Gentile Arena. The Friday game against the Panthers of Northern Iowa is just part of a busy week in Loyola athletics. They'll also host the Drake Bulldogs in a conference matchup next Monday. The men's team will look to get that elusive road victory, traveling to Bradley on Saturday and Mississippi State on Wednesday. You can catch that game against the Bradley Braves on Comcast Sportsnet. And their hardwood counterparts, the men's volleyball team, will once again look to defend that number 1 ranking. After tonight's tilt against number 13 Ball State, they'll host conference foe IPFW Saturday night. You can visit LoyolaRamblers.com for a full schedule and more info. And you know what, guys? The volleyball team not only with the chance to be in the Final Four, but also hosting it. You know, I'm a little more excited about that than Arch Madness, but that's just me, and that's sports.
Know. Arch Madness is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they'll both be all right.
Spring break seems like a far-fetched idea right now, considering the Chicago wintry weather. But Loyola students have to start packing their bags or start preparing to stay local for the break. Ramblers have a week off the first week of March. Their break is coming up a lot quicker than other Chicago schools. Roosevelt University's hiatus is the 2nd week. U of I's and Columbia College doesn't have their spring break until the 4th. The Old Farmer's Almanac says the official date of spring is March 20th. So it looks like only U of I and Columbia's spring break is actually true for the season.
No matter what other schools do, our spring break is fast approaching. And with our harsh winter, Kendall Pectus found out that students are ready for spring, if not spring break.
So it's raining, it's snowing, and it's freezing out here in Chicago, but Loyola's still having its spring break in the winter. And as I found out, there are some students who love this, others who don't really seem to care, and some that just despise it.
I wish it could be a little later, because I mean, this is not even a spring break. It's like a post-winter break kind of thing. Yeah, and yeah, I wish it's gonna be later, like a little later, so we can enjoy the weather and stuff.
I feel we should start later because my friend, he's from DePaul. We want to travel together, and because his spring break is like at the end of March, so we're trying to find a date together, like for the periods. But fortunately, I'm a graduate student here, so I have time like to split out 4 days during the weekend. So, but I definitely wish we could do it later.
Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I mean, I'm sure it starts early, so it's good for me.
For years now, Loyola's had its spring break during the first week of March, and who knows if that'll ever change. Kendall Pectus, Loyola News, Chicago.
Longtime faculty and staff we've talked to say Loyola's spring break has been early for as long as they can remember.
Sunshine certainly brings happiness for Chicagoans. Find out how you can celebrate warm weather with good eats after the break.
And social media lets us know when our friends' birthdays are, but what about the birthdays of the sites themselves? We'll tell you which websites celebrate a milestone when we come back.
Come on.
How you feel? How you feel?
I'm feeling good. Spin me, spin me.
Got you.
Oh, goodness.
Kristen Jones is here with today's Loyola Extra to get our stomachs rumbling for springtime. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to 2 expansions as well as 1 brand new opening. So if you're stuck in a dining rut, be patient. Unique restaurants bound to ignite your taste buds are headed to 3 Chicago neighborhoods. Thousands of square feet will comprise Harry Carey's 7th inning stretch on the 7th floor of the Water Tower Place. Almost 10,000 square feet will make up the Chicago Sports Museum. 250 eaters and 60 bar drinkers can enjoy the new Harry Carey's location all at one time. Take yourself out to the ball games come April. Hope you're feeling cheesy, Wicker Park, because the master of the classic sandwich is headed to North Milwaukee Ave and is bringing a friend. 80s themed French fry and liquor bar Whiskey Business will neighbor the pub and grub. Enjoy indoor and outdoor seating when Wicker Park greets both Cheesies and Whiskey Business in April. For those of you who prefer more of an Eastern cuisine, Odaki Asian Bistro is opening in Andersonville. The completely new restaurant is planning to feature sushi and hot items. But Odaki owners want the spot to have a casual vibe. Customers will order their food at a counter, but wait staff will then serve. Free Wi-Fi will also be accessible to eaters. Odaki is headed to North Clark Street this summer.
Thanks for that, Kristen. I'll definitely be visiting those restaurants this spring.
Me too, I can't wait.
Facebook is celebrating a milestone this month after changing the way we communicate with each other. But Emily Olson reports some users don't think it's as popular as it once was.
Facebook is turning 10 this month. We went to Corboy Law Center to talk with Loyola students to see if they love Facebook just as much as they did 10 years ago.
I got a Facebook back in, I think it was 2008, so I've had it for 6 years now. I don't know if I think it's cool necessarily anymore, just because there's a lot of adults and parents on it, like my whole family's on it. So I would say probably not.
I use my Facebook a lot to stay in touch with friends who live in other parts of the country, or to look at pictures, or just to stay up to date with people who I don't see every day or talk to on a normal basis. I personally like Instagram more than Facebook. I think with Instagram, people don't post as many useless comments. It's not as much of a personal diary like people use Facebook for.
I think Facebook will stay relevant for a long time. I do like Instagram just because I'm more attracted to looking at pictures and things like that. But I think it will remain cool.
Despite a recent Forbes report declaring Facebook uncool, it seems that most Loyola students still keep Facebook on their social media diet. Emily Olson, Loyola News Chicago.
Even if many Loyola students prefer other social media, an estimated 64% of Facebook users still visit the site every day.
Just when you thought technology has reached its limit, something even crazier develops. A Japanese company created a new program called Senti that delivers notifications through scents instead of ringtones. The app requires a smell dongle, which is a small cartridge that plugs into the headphone jack. Users can enjoy 100 sprays of scents like lavender, strawberry, and coffee.
I do not think I would want to smell my brother calling me.
Well, you can set it to whatever you want.
All right, that's our news for today. Thanks for watching.